So welcome to another podcast, RotBox Podcast. Don't forget to check our other channel, Mark McCann 64. There's loads of things every week. We'd like to be more regular on this, but here we go. So today we have the very, very famous, can't believe he's sat here with me now.
Hello, what is happening? Well, I'm introducing myself.
Yeah.
Right. I'm Ali Law. If you know me, then yeah, you know me. I guess for a lot of people, they'll be like, who's this ginger guy? But yeah, I make YouTube videos and yeah. What do you want me to... I fucked it.
Is that your CV? Is that ginger guy who makes videos?
Ginger guy who makes videos, pretty
Brilliant.
much. Luckily,
that's a brilliant CV though,
luckily,
that's brilliant.
I ain't needed a CV for a few years, so we've been good.
Oh, that'd be tragic.
But
if
it
you
would
need,
be tragic. It would be tragic for sure, 100%.
So I think starting on that with the first line of your CV, when, how and where did it all start? Because it's something I'm really interested to know, like watching you for such a long time now. It's really hard probably for me to figure out like where was the beginning and where was that, how on earth did you come from a normal job to being to where you are now?
Great question. Obviously it's quite long, but right. So when I was 16, I left school, sort of didn't know what I was doing. My mum gave me two options: go to college, which wasn't an option for me. I was like, well, I'm going to go to college, not get paid. So I might as well take the second option to go and do apprenticeship like my brother. Done this apprenticeship for carpentry. Absolutely hated it, but I was earning £100 a week, so £20 a day. Grafting on site for like sometimes 12 hours a day. It was a graft. But then I met a guy who I went to school with and he used to do free running. And I always loved the idea of it. It looked sick and stuff. And I went to a gymnastics gym which was right by where my carpentry apprenticeship was. And after we finished work, went and got McDonald's, chilled around for a bit because it was at like 8:30, went to this gymnastics gym and then I just met like these amazing people, like all had crazy mindsets about life and like they were all like open people and just like sick people and they were doing sick things and I just fell in love with this. I guess it was gymnastics in the beginning, but it was like a freestyle class. Started doing flips and stuff, and then met my close mates like Ben, Ryan, all like people that I went on to make loads of videos with later on.
And what year was that?
2013, late 2013 I'd say.
And that free running, was that like a new thing then?
I think it was quite popular, I'd say. George, 2013, it would have been...
It was still about...
It wasn't as popular as it is now, but it was about, yeah.
It was more like the gymnastic side of things though. It was more like the flips, like the tricking side.
Yeah.
Before the parkour.
So this wasn't climbing up buildings and jumping across buildings at that stage?
Nah, but in films it was.
Yeah.
Right. But like in terms of like content, it was more like the flips, like the back flips, the front flips, like the corks, like all these things. But like parkour, it was more, like the building side, but that was in films. You didn't really see all the gymnastic side, which is what everyone was doing because no one really had, I guess, it in them to start jumping over rooftops like back then. Like it's not something that you think, oh, there's a roof there. I wonder if I can make that gap.
So what's his name? Sebastian Foucon. He did the James Bond movie or something. He like jumping across roofs. I think that's where it sort of originated from, like the rooftop stuff. I think.
That's the best second name I've ever heard.
It's Foucon.
Yeah.
Foucon.
Who's the guy that did the man jump in France? You know
I know who you mean. I can't think of his name.
Can't think of
French guy.
Yeah,
French Donny. Yeah, can't remember his name, but yeah. So that's like I think where the rooftop and stuff originated from. I'd say, but it's more like Jordan says in movies, not actually so much. Everyone weren't just jumping across roofs, you know.
And these people you sort of got to know there, your friends who obviously still friends, were they making money out of this?
No, not at all. Just hobby. Like at the time we were like, I was 16. I think they were all, ranging from 14 to 16, I'd say. Just a hobby, straight hobby in the beginning. Fell in love with it. Didn't really, at this point, like, I left school, had no idea what I wanted to do in my life. Like, always sort of felt like I was destined for something more. Like I always seen life differently. I didn't want to go down a normal path and like, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to make something of my life. Like that was from an early age. Like I remember seeing Felix Baumgartner jump from space, like the edge of space. And I remember seeing that in 2011 or something. And I just was like, I want to do something epic with my life. And it come about. It wasn't planned. Like it just come about. And then I started free running. And then it just progressed from there. Like I met them boys and then we would just go to this gymnastics gym every week and I loved it. I'd go and then I'd go like 2-3 times a week and I was like, on one hand, I was going to the carpentry apprenticeship, which I hated, and I was going on site working and like working with old moany old guys, and like they're complaining that their backs are fucked from work and all this. And I was like, this ain't me. Like, I'm not doing this the rest of my life. I want to do free running. Somehow I've got to make this my job or make money from doing something fun.
And so then you sort of started making videos on a platform called YouTube, which obviously you watched.
Yeah, so I watched YouTube for years. I actually had a gaming channel back in like 2009 or something, like years ago prior, like some shitty gaming channel, not like speaking or anything, just like recording my gameplay. Yeah, so I made videos, I made a couple of videos on there in 2009. Always watch YouTube, and YouTube was always like growing up, like especially my age, like growing up, you'd see all these people living this dream life. Like YouTuber was the goal. Like everyone, they were living life, they were traveling the world. Like I wasn't so, to me, like you were seeing so many people like KSI in the early days would have a Lamborghini penthouse and stuff and all these things. But to me, like I was just more obsessed with the idea of freedom. Like I was watching these people and they lived the life.
Not 9 to 5.
Yeah, not 9 to 5. Like so it was like open up this whole world, and it was like I was born at a great time, because if I was born 50 years ago, it wouldn't have been an opportunity. But
Nah, hell no.
Yeah.
I think like what's cool about it though is like back then with all those YouTubers, like being from the same area, the first person that I saw to break out of that in free running was like James Kingston.
Yeah.
When he had that viral video where he basically climbs up a crane and dangles on it with like one hand. And he's just dangling, but then that video went mad viral.
Viral.
Yeah, but like, and then he had like did he have like a TV show on like E4 or something?
Channel 4, yeah.
That was it.
That was a classic.
So he had like that, and then that put him on the map. But it was weird seeing someone from your area like hitting that level so close to home.
Yeah,
and
it was,
like
yeah.
for me, I don't know, like
And
it opened
you
up
knew
doors.
him?
I didn't know him, but one of my friends, Spencer Cliff. So Spencer did the video with him climbing the crane.
I didn't realise you knew Spencer. That's mad.
Yeah.
Small world.
So Spencer climbed the crane with James, helped him film the whole thing. And then James went viral and Spencer didn't.
That's like, isn't it that like something to do with the bloke on the moon as well? Like, Matey was going on the moon, he had a cold or something, didn't he? And he got to stop at home, and then Matey's probably cleaning the toilets while everyone's worth billions of pounds.
Yeah.
That's if we ever landed on the moon. That's another conversation.
Are you into conspiracies, Mark?
No, I'm not.
No.
We had somebody on the other week, Matt, and Matt was big into that. Was one of them things where we channeled off to a
Flowed
different
off,
thing.
yeah. We'll keep off that then. We'll stay away from that, but we definitely didn't land on the moon, I don't reckon. But we'll leave that for another conspiracy theory podcast.
So you were making these videos of your gaming, then you started filming yourself doing your free running.
Yep. Yeah, so started just making odd videos, free running, and then fast forward, I started my channel in 2014, December. So I was already doing free running for probably like best part of nearly a year or so, year and a half.
Do you remember what sort of subs you were at then?
What, in 2014? Oh, mate, I remember getting to 97 subscribers. I remember this so clearly. I reached 97 subscribers and I was 3 off 100, and it felt like I'm sure it was like weeks that I stayed on there. And then I got
That's just mental,
like,
isn't it?
I remember this so clearly. And then when I reached 100, I was so happy. Like, to me, that was crazy that I had 100 people subscribed to me. Yeah. My gaming channel had like 3, and I think like they were all me off other accounts. Not gonna lie.
We do that a lot.
Everyone does it. Everyone does this.
Got 50,000 so far.
Just been creating loads of accounts. Just
watching the video, so it's 100% watch time.
Yeah. Messaging your mum, make sure she signs up and that. But yeah, so done that. I was on 97, then I reached 100, and then I remember a big goal for me was 500. So I reached 500, and to me, like there was 440 people or something in my school, and I remember thinking that more people were subscribed to my channel than that were in my school, and that to me was crazy, because I remember being in school and there were so many people, and that was like, and at this point I hadn't traveled or anything, so it was all just still a bit crazy to me. And then it went up and up from there, and like I remember the biggest milestone for me was like 200. So Southampton, where I live, had like at the time like 250,000 people. So Google said, and I remember hitting 250,000 people, and that to me was the craziest milestone. Like over the million and stuff. Like the 250k mark to me was just mental,
because it's bigger than your hometown.
Yeah, it was. That just blew my mind. And then after that, it was.
Was there a time where sort of like you went from there to there, like a massive jump?
So in 2016, I made so you remember the Killer Clown thing that went around like years ago? Killer Clown.
Oh, them viral videos.
You remember like years ago, there was like people were scared of killer clowns and stuff like that. there was a few viral like prank videos and stuff. And I was like, how can I incorporate this viral trend into my content? I was like, right, we'd do like a parkour killer clown chases me across rooftops, and I jump across roofs and roll and transition it. And I made this video, it's like 3 minutes, and it blew. And I remember I worked in a trampoline park at this point called Flip Out. I was earning like £7 an hour. And whilst I was there, my video was blown. It went mega viral. Like I'm talking, I think I went from about 10,000 subscribers to 100,000 in the space of like a week. Like it was crazy. Wow. My channel blew.
That's a big jump.
And how did you know? Did somebody say, or did you notice? Or
at this point I was reloading YouTube Studio every day. It was one of them.
Yeah,
like,
one of the keep looking,
you're constantly looking at them stats. But yeah, I see it going up. And I remember this so clearly. I was at Flip Out working, and some kids come in and they knew the video. They recognized me from the video. And that was like the first ever time. And this was just crazy to me. And then whilst I was working, I was like getting told to go back behind the trampolines to mop up and sweep up. And whilst I'm like loading YouTube Studio, and I was seeing like revenue come in like £300, and then I'd refresh it, it'd be like £400. I was like, this is
fast
crazy. Yeah, it was what this video was blowing. Like I'm talking like every time I refresh it, it'd be like a couple 100,000 views. It was fucking rapid. It ended up getting like 20, I think it was like 18 million views over the space of like mental, literally like a week or two. It was wild. But so that blew my channel up, which I think was a good thing at the time. But then I was making like, I didn't want to, so I see it as a bad thing, but it was a good thing at the time. But I wanted to, it wasn't the videos I wanted to make. I could have made a Killer Clown part 2, part 3, part 4, and then my channel would have kept blowing. But I wanted to make other videos, and then those videos, so I had 100k subscribers, videos were getting 1-2k views.
So that's disappointing, back down to a real level.
Massively. Boom. Yeah. So it was almost like it was a good thing and a bad thing, but I learned a lot from it. But then I had to like redo my whole, it was almost like I had to start from scratch again, because then I started making these climbing videos and these other videos, and no one was watching them. And it was like I had a dead channel almost. It was like the channel died. So the way I see it is like I had a big boost, then the channel died, and then it plateaued, and then I had a massive boost, and it's like I started from zero again, but I had 100k, and then, but I'd like changed up the content massively. It was like I was trying to build an audience off then like the climbing stuff and all this different content, but people were only interested in this viral Killer Clown video, you know?
Those 100k people were gone.
Yeah, so I don't think it's even, so I don't necessarily, and it's the same as like TikTok. This is the way I see it. Like you can blow up on TikTok overnight, you can get 1 million on TikTok, but is it actually as valuable as like having 50k on YouTube? I would say like TikTok, I don't think is an actual engaged audience. Same as those people that come and watch my 3-minute Killer Clown video weren't an engaged audience. I would have never been able to sell them merch or do anything. It wasn't an engaged audience. So it's almost like you can have 20,000 subscribers of a solid fan base that's an engaged audience, and you can make more money and do better out of having 1 million on TikTok that would never buy a product or it wouldn't ever convert anywhere. So with YouTube, I'd say that like it's not always good to just have overnight success and blow up. Like sometimes it's good to have that gradual growth rather than overnight success, you know?
Yeah.
And when did you sit down with your mom and tell her that the carpentry dream was over?
I don't actually know the exact point, but like my mum was always really supportive of my YouTube. Yeah, I always told her.
And she watched it and she knew.
So she hated, like once I started doing rooftop and stuff, she hated it, absolutely hated it, which from a mum point of view you can understand. But she was always mega supportive that I was going to make this YouTube dream. Even though to her, it was crazy. She's never heard of anyone doing it. At this time, it was like no one had really done it, especially from this like weird niche of like, there wasn't anyone that you could be like, well, this person's done it.
An example. There wasn't.
Yeah, there wasn't. It was like, I'm going to go, obviously at this point, it wasn't that point, but like, I'm going to go sneak into swimming pools and climb cranes and make a living out of it. It was crazy. Like I told my nan and granddad I was going to do it. My granddad was always super supportive. He always told me this thing, and it was like, you're better to try and fail than wonder what if. He always said that, and that always stuck with me.
You remember that from that date?
And he told me that, and I just remember it so clearly, and I tried and I put my all into it. But my mum was always mega supportive, and I don't remember the exact point, but YouTube just started like, so the Killer Clown video, I remember earning like $2,500 off it, and I'd never seen $2,500 in my life. Like I was broke, had no money, and all of a sudden got $2,500. It was incredible. But then obviously it dropped back down. But then I think the next run, so long story short, I spent that $2,500, always wanted to go traveling. So I booked a ticket to Thailand, a one-way ticket, and then went to Thailand, like lived cheap, and then went to Australia, hitchhiked around the whole of Australia. Like I went away for 6 months, spent that whole $2,500, 6 months, done all right. Lived just like slept in hammocks, like literally
like,
just
you can
roughed
get for your
around.
money.
Yeah, like I roughed it around hard, but I just wanted to travel. That was my dream, to like travel and see the world. So I went off, traveled, seen the world, and come back, was broke, had no money. YouTube was a complete flop. I was trying to make travel videos whilst over there, and it just, again, like 2K views, 1K views. So the channel was dead. The dream of being a YouTuber was over. But then I come back to England, and then...
That's weird, because you've got a plaque at that stage.
Yeah, but it's
and then
dead.
you're still not making any money.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah. And,
that's mental,
and people,
isn't it?
like, I remember...
think about the plaque then.
Yeah, you've got it, and you think, this is me done, and it's not.
And you're not, 100%, yeah. And I remember being in Australia, and my cousin lives over there, and I went and visited him whilst I was passing through, and he was saying that. He was like, oh, you must be minted. I was like, mate, literally, like, barely. I was showing him, like, and I was obviously just roughing it around Australia, sleeping wherever I can. But like on paper, yeah, you think this man's fucking loaded. He's got, you know what I mean? And so at the point, the video went off 20 million views. I only earned $2,500 because in 2016 it was like an adpocalypse where a lot of advertisers pulled out of YouTube. So the
Adpocalypse.
That's what people called it. That was the name in 2016. It was a shit time to get 20 million views, because obviously 20 million views would have earned me like 20 to 40 grand, let's say.
Is that the difference?
Yeah.
Like 10 times.
So it was like a $10, no, it was like a 10 cent CPM. Like it was like 10 cents for every 1,000. It was awful. And the video was 3 minutes. So it wasn't like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was no multiple ads. It was like the worst CPM ever. But to me, like I earned $2,500 off a YouTube video. That was fucking mind blowing. Yeah. But yeah, my mum, like, taking it back to my mum, just, I can't remember the exact point that I'd like, it's not working out. But I remember getting a $60 paycheck. Like the threshold for YouTube was $60 before you'd get a check. Like originally you couldn't cash out until you got 60. And I was working up. This was like in the early days when I had like a couple thousand subscribers or whatever. And I was working it up, and it would be like $50, $54 next month. And then it got to $60, and I got the check from YouTube. It come through the post, because back, I don't know if you can still do it, but you could opt to have a check come
like
through the door.
Piece of paper.
Yeah. And I've got it somewhere.
Oh,
like
I love that.
It is somewhere. But yeah, so I got the check, and it was like $63 or something, and it was incredible. And that, to me, like even my mom, it blew her mind that I'd like earned $63 off making YouTube videos. And that, honestly, I remember, and from that moment, I was like, I'm making this work somehow. Like I'm gonna do this, and yeah. But $63 was the first paycheck, and
love it.
Yeah, it was incredible.
What do you reckon is the most you've ever spent on a YouTube video?
Not massive budgets, to be honest. Like I couldn't even tell you, but not like nowhere near what most, like my videos were always cheap. Like what they wasn't costing a lot to produce. Like say sneaking into a water park is not like, say, Mr. Beast given 50 grand or a budget. I didn't need anything to make the videos. I was quite lucky really, because it was raw. Like I'd strap a GoPro to my head. I didn't even need a cameraman. Like I'd strap a GoPro to my head and film most shit raw, and I'd do all the editing myself. And like, yeah, I didn't really have a lot of massive outgoings, to be honest.
What's interesting for me, sometimes I see that you've done a video and you've literally just got on a plane or gone somewhere and just thought, fuck, I better wing it. I'll make this work.
I learned
somehow.
this from when I earned that $2,500 from the Killer Clown video. It changed my mind, because on life, it changed my whole mindset, because I'd done this exact thing. I jumped on a plane one way to Thailand. I'd never been to I'd never even really traveled. Like I think I'd traveled once before, like whilst I was before that video blew up, like when I'd earned a bit from YouTube, I went to Denmark with my boys. And that was like the only trip I'd ever been on abroad. Like apart from like when I was really young, I went to America with my mum and dad. So I'd never really like traveled. And then I went away on my own. I booked this one-way flight to Thailand, had absolutely no idea, was shitting myself, had no idea how it was going to work out. But in my head, I was like, it's going to work out somehow. And like, what's the worst that can happen? And I jumped on a one-way flight, knew nobody, knew nothing what I was going to do, had no places booked or anything, like didn't have a clue. And then got on the plane, sat next to this guy. He was a rock climber. Like I started chatting to, I was editing a video whilst on the plane, and then got chatting to him, and turned out he's a rock climber from Bristol. He was a really sick guy. And then he was like, oh yeah, come, I'm meeting my mate. And then I went and met him. We chilled. We went like swimming, jumping off cliffs, rock climbing. And then it just sways off. And I was like, since then I've learned that you just chuck yourself in uncomfortable situations and it will always just work out. And most of the time you will just, if you chuck, like say with traveling, you jump on a one-way flight somewhere and you just make it work. Like when you get uncomfortable, that's when it works out. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, like I'll jump on planes to anywhere and I just know it will work out somehow. Yeah, but I did enjoy traveling a lot. I think that was the goal for me. Like I just wanted to see the world, but it was never an option for anyone. Like my family had never traveled. Like, yeah, growing up, like there was never any mad money in my family. This wasn't an option. But yeah, once that was just always the goal for me, just travel and see as much of the world as possible, to be honest.
And so when you said sort of like the guy came into the trampoline park and he saw you and recognised you, when did you sit to yourself and think, I don't know whether the word famous is the right word, but when did you think people know who I am? Normal people who I don't know who Ali Law is.
Do you find that weird? Yeah, you struggle with that.
I find it strange when people say to me, "Oh my God, it's my dream to meet you," and I think, man, you need to aim higher. if I'm the top of your tree, you need to go more. But like, I think it's mad when people say, like, when I said to Jordan not so long ago, there was a girl in Morrison's, and I said, "Where are your hard-boiled eggs?" That was my line, but I really did want to know where our hard-boiled eggs were. And she looked at me and she went, "Oh my fucking God," straight in my face.
Yeah.
And she was like, "My boyfriend is going to go mad. I've met you." And I'm like, I'm in Morrison's. It's mad.
I don't think it will ever become normal. It's just a
I think it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And I love that people feel like that we've made a difference and we have brightened somebody's day.
Yeah.
And they enjoy watching it. But I've not got to that stage where I think to myself, people know who I am. We're people in our little world know who they are and they want to be a part of it. But you're a lot more bigger numbers, a lot more mainstream.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mate, I love it as well. Like, it's sick, and I get it all the time, like every day, multiple times a day. Anywhere,
really, literally.
I don't remember the last. It sounds like big-headed, but I don't.
No, that's exactly.
I don't remember the last.
Even when I was on the phone to you, like randomly midway through, someone's like, "Oh my God, is that Ali Law?"
Mate, it's honestly crazy. Like,
so every day,
every random place. I go to the most. So I was in Wales with Jack, who you just met. Jumped off the mountain, went and paraglided off the mountain, went to this little random cafe in the middle of nowhere. And then come out, and as we were driving home, I was checking my Instagram messages, and it was like a video of us in there. Like, it's crazy, it's like the most random places ever. Like, you can't get away from it. But it's to me, it still feels surreal. Like, when you deep it, 3.5. I got like 3.5 million. It's a lot of people. 3.5 million, and it's a lot of people. But it's just numbers on a screen, so it don't feel real. Like, and then you go into the streets. But every day, and it's amazing because, mate, these people at the end of the day allow me to live this lifestyle. I'm never going to be one of them people, like, you see it and people get pissed off with them or don't want to speak to the people that watch them. At the end of the day, these people allow me to live my life.
I totally agree. Them viewers are, without them,
you're nothing, innit?
You're back to your carpentry.
Yeah, but that 3 million is your main channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's the one that got demonetised.
Yeah. So that got demonetised.
Do you want to talk us through that bit?
Yeah, give you some tips so it don't happen to the Mark McCann channel. 2018, YouTube just started picking up for me. Like, this is when it started getting like, so end of 2017.
And what sort of numbers was that then? Do you remember?
I would say, mate, I remember going from 250k to 750k in the space of like a couple of weeks. It was
that.
It was.
That's a massive jump,
I say that maybe a month or so. Like, it was. I remember at one point I'd look on Social Blade and I was getting like 50k subs a day. It was fucking wild, man. A day, yeah. It got to a point that the channel just sort of blew overnight, but I was consistent with it. So I was making loads of videos. I was literally uploading like daily, every other day. I went 110% in on it. Like, that was my entire life. I had no other life apart from creating content, traveling around, filming, editing. Like, everything was based around that. I had nothing else. It wasn't like I went half-hearted on it. Like, I went all in, and it just blew, and it rocketed, and it snowball effect, and it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then September 2018, the whole channel got, so this was just as it like started picking up revenue, started picking up, I was earning good money. And then one day woke up, whole channel yellow, like in YouTube Studio, which is like limited or no ads, which basically means like back to that like $10 10 cent CPM, pretty much, maybe less. It's classed as demonetization.
And did you know why at the time?
No, not a clue. So woke up, and I had a YouTube network, which you know much about like YouTube networks. Okay, so it's almost like people that, they got contacts at YouTube and they do things for you and within your YouTube account, and they've obviously got contacts at YouTube. So I reached out to them. I was signed to a network and I reached out to them and they had no idea. what had happened.
So I think this might be a mistake at this stage.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what. Yeah, it was just like, is this a mistake? And no one had a clue. And they were like, we're trying to get through to our contacts at YouTube. And it took a while. It took a couple of days. And obviously, it was like, no idea what had happened. And then, yeah, they didn't really get they never really got a straight answer like from YouTube directly. It was just like, we're cutting ads on dangerous. So originally, like, didn't get a straight answer. And then after a while, the most we got was like, oh, we're cutting ads on all like dangerous content. But it was only my channel that got demonetized. So there was like loads of other channels. Obviously, Ryan ended up after, but this was like maybe 2 months after mine or something. And then like a few big channels that are similar content to mine all got struck. But
it happened to Nightscape as well.
Nightscape as well, yeah. So exactly the same. But my channel was the first one. So there was no like definitive, this is why we've done it. But it was like, you're not getting it back. So I had no idea. Channel just got demonetized. Woke up one day, wasn't earning earning bare minimum. Like I was getting like 20 million views a month and it was earning like $300, $200 and stuff. Like
will you share with us back then how much that was before that happened?
So 20 million views it differed. Like I always used to get a 1 to 4. Like the best CPM I ever got was $4, which I done a video, got 4 million views and it, $3 CPM. I'd done a video, got 4 million views and it earned $12,000. $12,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, crazy money, mate, crazy. But so what's that? $3 CPM, yeah. So that's the best I ever got, $3 CPM. So for people watching that don't know what CPM is, it's like per 1,000 views. So standard for me was always $1.
Yeah.
So 1 million views would earn me $1,000, $1,000. I think it might have been pounds actually, but yes, it might have been pounds I was getting. Sorry, not dollars, but. So yeah, like a standard for me was like £1 per 1,000. But now I notice, I don't know what your boys are like, but finance, I don't know if you know, but different niches of content have different CPMs.
Yeah.
And like, I know a guy, he makes finance videos and he put a screenshot on Twitter and he got $115,000 off of 4 million views. Like that is crazy. That's like a, $30, $40 CPM. Wild money, mate. So we need to switch up the content and make finance videos.
We might have a problem.
Yeah, we're going to have to switch it up. But yeah, like demonetization, you want to avoid it, but obviously your content is clean. So yeah, I would say would you say your content's in risk of demonetization?
After hearing that story, when you're just saying like, it's not like you did anything particularly illegal. You weren't doing 150 mile an hour down the M6 or you weren't poking an alligator in the eye with a hot stick. Like if you did nothing.
Well, that's the thing. Like I was obviously it was borderline. It wasn't illegal, and that's the reason I wasn't in prison. Because it wasn't illegal. It was a civil matter. But ultimately, this is why I think it was such a grey area, because it was like I was breaking the law, but I wasn't breaking the law. You know. So it was like I was running around, causing havoc, climbing on roofs every day, sneaking into places, staying overnight, and it was like nothing could be done about it. And and on top of that, I was making money off YouTube. It was like,
but what I don't get is what is the benefit for YouTube to stop?
I think to keep advertisers happy.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the way it comes down to.
Because advertisers might say, I don't want to be on that channel because
it looks dodgy. I think they try. It was around the time like PewDiePie. So the Adpocalypse was 2016. PewDiePie said something, like the biggest YouTuber on YouTube said something. I can't remember what, said something bad. And then loads of big advertisers, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, all these big advertisers pulled out of YouTube.
Right. Okay,
they lost billions of pounds. So YouTube are trying to keep it clean, which fully understand. Understand.
You're saying that in case you get demonetized.
Of course,
again.
yeah. No, the channel's still
totally agree with what YouTube.
Totally agree with them. Yeah. No, the channel got demonetized in 2018. It's always been demonetized since.
Simple as that. Done.
Yeah, done. It's 2022 now. Never got the monetization back. Uploaded many videos since. Racked up probably hundreds of millions of views since, and never earned a penny out of them.
Because your main channel, it does generate like millions of views per video that you do.
Oh yeah, it does. It's still even like I didn't upload for like 6 months and banged a video and it banged like 1 million views straight away. Like
But but what do you do then?
So I've got.
I know you've got your other channel, but
so I got my second channel. I've got quite a few streams of revenue, which is pretty good. The YouTube would have been the main one. Like the YouTube would have been the one that I would have been sorted. And even if I left the channel dying, like I remember after I got demonetized, it was like generating like 20 million views a month, 10 million views, like over standard. Even when I wasn't uploading, And then like the lowest it's ever got to, and this is, I hadn't uploaded in like 6 months, I got to like 2 million views a month. So that's just off backdated old views.
Can we work out what that is?
Do the math, yeah, do the math.
Should we do it?
Yeah,
or
go
is that going to ruin your day?
No, go for it. No, not at all.
Is that going to ruin your
day? The thing is,
let's figure out how much that cost you.
Go. I'd say 200 million views. Off the top of my head, I'd say it's best part of 200 million views.
200, so 1, 2, 3,
at
1, 2, 3. Yep.
At a $1 to $3 CPM, let's just say $2 CPM at max, 400 grand, yeah? Cost me about 400 grand. 400 grand down the drain. Heartbreaking. No, but yeah, this when it first happened, it fucked me. Like for a bit, it pissed me off. But I've seen the positive of it. So in my head, the way I don't go and kill myself over this 400 grand mark, the way I think about it is, if this hadn't have happened, I could have started YouTube 2 years later and then never got monetized, never got my channel big enough. Like it's all these things, and then I wouldn't have the channel that big and be able to live the life I'm living. Obviously, it's hard, but I wouldn't have had a gaming channel that big. I wouldn't have got a gaming channel. Obviously, I could have, but you can't look at what ifs, can you, in life?
Yeah,
like,
so that grey area needed to be there to push.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you got demonetized, did they give you like an ultimatum or anything? Like, did they say like, if you remove your content, we'll monetize your channel again? Or?
Not till about 2020. So about 2 years after, they gave me an ultimatum of this. They said you can remove all the videos that breach the guidelines, which I know Ryan took this offer up. He did it, but Ryan's channel obviously had a lot of BMX videos and stuff. It was like my channel, like 95% of the videos breached the guidelines or like the dangerous activity. So this was the option. But I thought it was a smart idea to say no to that. And it sounds dumb. I could have got rid of it and got the channel monetized, but the 3 million people have subscribed for that type of content. So in my head, it's like you watching EastEnders every day at 8 p.m. And then all of a sudden it's a different show. So in my head, I was like, I had a second channel which is called Ali Law's Life, which was the channel that I wanted to upload random videos of traveling and adventures and stuff off of that. But the main channel was more for like the mad stuff.
So you could still carry on uploading those videos, not caring whether it breached or not.
As long as they're not monetized, yeah. So they didn't mind the videos uploading because they didn't breach any like community guidelines. They just breached like the ad policies or whatever. So I got this option, and a lot of people, Nightscape did it, and Ryan took this offer, and a lot of people took this offer, but I didn't. To me, it just seemed like a bad idea. Like I was like, I can continue uploading these videos and then drive traffic to like merch or drive traffic to my second channel.
To open up
because 3 million people subscribed. I didn't want to start uploading videos and then them again, like my channel back in 2017, like have a channel with 3 million subscribers and it getting like 50k views, you know?
Yeah. But you could also take sponsorship money.
And that as well, yeah, I could take sponsorship money, which I did as well, yeah. So I did quite a few sponsors, drove traffic to merch, like drove traffic to my second channel, and so can't complain. Obviously, when you look at it, the numbers like 400 grand there, it's absolutely heartbreaking, but it don't even bother me. Like it
definitely does. Definitely.
Now I'm going to be honest. Definitely bothers me. No, it did. At first, it bothered me, but like you can't look at what ifs and like.
And I think like you say, if you can take from that and build from it and make you a better person and smarter decisions, then it was sometimes them negatives turn into a much bigger positive. So
I could have my own RotBox if I did. Get that for 400 grand, so I'm a bit heartbroken.
I could probably sell you that for 400 grand.
But I feel like you're very like business oriented. Like your mind works very businessy, right? Like I feel like my mind, like you're always thinking of like out for the cars, for example. You're like you got them scrap cars, and then you're like, right, I can make this much back. I can make that. Like constantly thinking.
That's why, like when you said about car boot sales, that's what the first thing I ever did was buy a load of. We used to buy returns from Debenhams. So then we used to have to buy lorry loads, pallets full of returns. Then we used to sift through the returns.
Sell them at car boot.
Sell them at car boot sales.
Genius. Yeah.
And it was like some of the stuff was disgusting. And I mean, like you'd have like a sandwich toaster which had been returned like 18 months before.
Yeah.
Which you'd open it up and it was just disgusting. But then there used to get TVs. TVs were great. You used to have a 32-inch TV and it used to say didn't work. And you used to think, that's golden. That there is paying for 3 pallets. £74 a pallet they used to cost me. And that would be like a 300 quid telly. You'd think, yeah, I can get good money for this, and you turn it on. And it was always the same thing. If Debenhams, if you're watching, there was nothing ever wrong with your TVs. So what it was is people used to take the remotes, say there was something wrong with the telly,
send it back. TV's completely fine.
Always fine, just no remote.
That's mad.
And then you used to buy a remote for like £5. But like, yeah, you need to check your TV returns because there's nothing wrong with them.
I think that's still probably a thing, I must say.
That probably still is a thing.
Yeah. Or chargers, like, you know, people would like send it back, make sure the charger was in the box.
£74 a crate?
£74 a pallet it was costing us at one stage. Yeah, 74 quid a pallet.
What, you'd be buying a lot of them?
We used to buy, lorry load at a time. So I used to do it in my mum and dad's garage. There was a garage probably this big, and I used to sort of then, when there used to be a new supply, they used to be all down the garage. Mum and dad used to love it.
Imagine.
They used to go mad. I'd be in there like till 2 o'clock in the morning. And there was no eBay then, so I literally used to print out like a booklet, and then used to give it to people, and then we used to give percentages to people. So there'd be like single mums who, like, we did kids' clothes as well through Debenhams, returns kids' clothes or end of line kids' clothes, and then everyone used to like make a percentage out of a percentage out of percentage. Yeah, and we used to sell a lot. Like it was good. It was good, but we used to, like, at a weekend we used to spend all day stood in some field arguing over £3.50. It was hard sometimes. It was hard. But then we'd this was probably say 15 years ago. I used to go to, say, a car boot sale, and used to come, sometimes we'd have over the weekend $2,500.
Mad. Yeah.
You know, not profit, just but it was still serious money, but it was horrible. Used to stand there some days, it'd be raining, stock would get soaking. But we had so many ways of getting people to buy. Like, one of the things was really, really clever was you always go as a two. People would walk past. If you got your head in there and you'd like looking at it going, oh yeah, checking it out. And the next person by the side, you would go, oh, what are they up to? So they'd join in. And as soon as you'd got that roll of people in your stuff, you're sorted. And then the first person who got there would be like looking there. Then they'd say, who's working out? I go, I am. They go, oh, get there, because they thought that you were another punter. But yeah, it was the tricks of the car boot sale.
Yeah.
But then even then, back then, I remember we went to this one car boot sale, and there was a girl at the back of where we were, and she was going and buying stuff. And they obviously did it as a bit of a hobby. So she was going and buying stuff and then bringing it back and putting it on their table to sell.
Oh, I've seen that.
You know,
I've seen people do that, where they've bought it off you for cheap and they've put it on theirs, marked it up by an extra like £2 and then sold it on, and you see them and you're like,
cheeky fuckers.
How did you do that?
Yeah. Well, there was this girl going around, and she'd done something and bought something, and she put it back onto a thing, and she put 30p on it. And you think, man, like,
that's a graft.
You know, massively.
30p,
you know, and like, obviously that's with what she paid for it, so that's probably 10p.
Yeah.
You know, and flipping, you know, it's a big wide world, and you don't know how lucky you are. And then you think it's like your people. I've been in the bank by work, and people have said, you know, you've been in the queue, and people said, how much money have I got in there? And they're like £4.26. And I go, yeah, can I have it all out?
Yeah. You don't realise, like most people, you know, live life like this.
To the penny.
Yeah, mate. My mum, growing up, this is all I knew. So that's why, like, growing up, like, same thing. Like, didn't have money to put in the electric. Same thing, like £10, like, scrimping and scraping. And then, so when I earned, like, internet money, it was fucking wild to me, you know?
It's just brilliant.
Yeah, internet money is like...
Yeah, it's a different world, man.
It's a different world.
But even so, like you say, car booting, that, like, there is... Especially now, I feel like there's so much opportunity. Like back then, obviously the internet, like you said, eBay didn't exist. Right now, there is so much opportunity to make, obviously not as easy to make money, but there's a lot of opportunity to make money. And not just from like making YouTube videos. Like so many people make money from, like I follow a girl from America, and her full-time thing is buying pallets from Amazon, return pallets. And
it's the same thing.
Reselling it on eBay. Like there's just so many... Finn, you remember that time we went around buying iPhones a couple of years ago? I had this idea, like, just had some spare time. I was like, fuck, let's see how much money we can make. I bought a load of iPhones off Facebook Marketplace. Like, went around literally all day in it, just collecting iPhones. Because I was like looking at the price. This was probably like, what, a year ago, 2 years ago? Maybe 2 years ago. Went around buying loads of iPhones, fucking... and then end up selling them on eBay. Like I would look them up, like iPhone X, right? Someone's selling it for £200, cheapest. Filter it on eBay, bid like, all right, that's selling for $350, like the minimum. That was just making profit. I ended up, I don't know, I can't remember how much I made. Probably like £500, I think, or something, like profit for like driving around for the day. And I thought, like, it's mad. There is so much opportunity to make money right now. It's crazy.
The trouble you have with, look, because we sell stuff on eBay now, and the problem you have is there's a lot of people who are in shit situations, so they're willing to do it for like no money, and then it just kills the price.
What do you mean?
So like say somebody's selling a product which other people can get hold of, and the retail of that product should be $9.99. And if we all stuck to $9.99, it'd be fine. But there'd be somebody on this who's bought it for say $6, but they're selling it for $6.50 because they need their money out.
And then it drives the profit down for everyone.
Just kills everybody.
Yeah.
Or there'd be somebody who's on there who that's not their full-time job, so they're happy with that 50p.
Yeah.
But then when you've got to pay for your business insurance, your business rates, your TV, like your phone
you
and your
can't
electric,
make a profit on it. Yeah.
No, but like, so it is. Yeah, it's it can be great, and it can be like flipping hard work.
Because what was the thing that you invested in? I remember you were selling loads of stuff, and then it was like when there was like a craze or something.
Shake weights.
That was it. I remember that was the story. I remember you telling me. That's the one.
It looked like a dumbbell, and then you shook it like that, and it went backwards and forwards.
That clip's getting used.
Yeah. See, look, that's the flipping editing mind working there.
Cut right there.
So like, yeah, we brought these in from China, found them, like how it came about. Darb's missus, so Kirsty went into Tesco's and said to me, there's a thing called a shake weight, can't get them from anywhere. So I went to Tesco's, went to check it out, empty shelves. And then I'd say to them, and they go, oh no, like we're not sure when we're going to get them in. So then I found somebody who made them, messaged them and said, right, how much to air freight them? So I thought, if I can air freight them, I can have them here in 3 days. And did it. And I think they were £27 we were sending for, which was pretty much the same price as Tesco's, but Tesco's didn't have any. And we were making good money on them. And then so we were making them, shipping them out. We spent I'd come home from work, and I had people working for me then, 2 lads, and all we do all night till like midnight was like flipping packaging these shake weights up, putting the labels on. And then in the end, like everything else, God, the last lot we had, I think we sold them for like flipping £6 or something.
Couldn't get rid of them.
It goes, and you sort of naturally go, let's get some more.
Yeah.
Rather than 500, we get 1,000.
Always. Yeah.
And then rather than the 1,000, we get 5,000. Then all of a sudden, like the day after you've ordered the 5,000,
got them in stock. Yeah. No one wants them anymore.
And then you're like, shit. And then all that hard works. But that's greed as well sometimes.
Yeah. Which is
you should have just stuck with your 500.
Very easily happens though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It easily happens. Literally, I think everyone does it. It's just human nature, isn't it? Greed.
Yeah.
The same as crypto, like people you buy, exactly the same, right? You get in deep and then you buy more. It's gambling essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And but it's hard to, it sometimes when I've sold stuff, it's like, where's the line between greed and common sense? It's real difficult, because like sometimes you think, no, I'm going to sell that at £1,000. It's got to 990. And sometimes it's not greed. It's more like, no, I feel like that's where it's going to get to.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it flipping gets down to like 600. And you're like, I've done the same crypto. I did a bit on crypto. I had this app. My mate kept on going on about it, mad. So I got this app, put like a few £100 in there, all gone.
Yeah.
Total waste of time.
Yeah.
Total waste of time.
But it's all, like you say, it's all timing, same as that business, right? If you time it right, like the way I see it is like, say crypto, do it when no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
When the whole world's talking about it.
Too late.
I seen it similar with property. Like I was looking at buying property in like 2020, and the property market was just wild, and people were paying stupid amounts over. And I was like, the whole world right now is buying property like more than ever. Obviously property is always going to be an amazing thing to have, but like I went to view a house for 190 grand and it got offered 250. So it's like 60 grand over the asking price. I was like, now is not the time to buy. So yeah, same with crypto. I feel like right now, not many people are talking about it right now, buying and sell when everyone else. It's common sense, but it's human nature, like great. And yeah, you just think, but.
Because it was crazy, this crypto thing.
It went wild.
And I never heard people talk about it so much anyway. So it's moved on from there, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's because
of NFTs now.
It? Yeah, like NFTs. But even that, like it's still about, but that kind of went real quiet. Like it went like everyone was talking about it, and then the market dipped, and then everyone just stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
But like probably now, shit's building its way back up.
Yeah,
But we don't know about it because
it.
no one's really talking about it.
You only know about it when
Like,
it's boomed.
if you're in the know, then you know.
Yeah.
That's how I reckon it works.
Sure, yeah. No, for sure. Just definitely. But yeah, it's like anything, buy when, well, my opinion, buy when no one else is buying, sell when everyone else is buying.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, I always think, I watched a video recently with one of my mates. He's makes sort of like business videos, and he's talking about crypto, and he was like, it's much better to have a business or a product that's constantly earning than like this quick, like people, he was explaining like you get rich overnight on crypto, you cash out, even you make 100 grand, you cash out. It's like, but having like a long lasting business, do you know what I mean, is more valuable.
But like that crypto, say you cash out, to me, I'd be thinking, you'd look the next day and think, fuck, it's gone up again.
Yeah, of course you would.
And then you're like, fuck, it's gone up again.
Yeah.
Like, so when is that right time?
Such a hard thing. I think you just have Finn done good with this, the cashing out thing. You remember, like it wasn't like loads of money, but we sat there and I got greedy and left it in. Finn cashed out, and then next day he was like, I've cashed out. If it goes up, I'm not going to look at it. He just had a good mindset on it, and he was like, don't care if it goes up. I've cashed out. I've made a profit. I'm happy. Me, I'm like, nah, it's going to go up more, and then fucking boom, crashed. Finn's like cashed out at a fucking brilliant time. But I think you just got to make that mindset in it. Like, I'm cashing out, don't care if it goes up, I'm cashed out at a profit, but it's so hard to make that mindset because you're
really
like,
difficult.
You're like, it's going to go up more, especially like last year, it was just all crazy, innit?
Yeah, especially like you say, if you keep looking the day after and the day after.
Yeah, you're heartbroken, isn't it? It's like that 400 grand AdSense, you just can't think about it. You just got to forget about it.
400k.
400k.
Even I just sit there and I think, fuck it. No.
It's life changing, isn't it? And I don't want to rub it in. Jesus.
Fuck it. It is what it is. These things happen.
Yeah. But like you say, like I've been in a few things in my life where it's cost money and it's done this, but then for the greater good, without that, I wouldn't have got to where I was anyway.
Exactly. This is how I look at everything. Everything in life, you have to look at like this. And same, like Snowball Effects. If I didn't start my carpentry apprenticeship, I hated that at the time. If I didn't start that, I wouldn't have met my mate that went to the gym. I wouldn't have started free running. I wouldn't have started going to that gym.
So without that carpentry,
which led me to here, right now on this podcast, you know? So without that shit time that at the time thought was the worst thing ever, it wouldn't have led me to something better, you know? So yeah, it's like anything in life, you're having a shit time, like shit's going wrong or whatever it may be. If you look at it like that, nothing, you know what I mean? Just look at it can lead to something better. And obviously, it's not like some magical shit like it's gonna lead to something better, but you don't know. Like, you could be having a shit time now, but it can lead to something much better.
Yeah. What's your hometown?
Southampton.
And would you say you're the most recognised person in Southampton?
I think so, yeah. I think it's probably... Someone done a poll once on like one of these Southampton pages. So Craig David's from Southampton, and someone done a poll on one of these like Southampton Facebook groups, and it was like, who's more famous? And it was like Ali Law or Craig David, and I won the vote.
Did you?
That is just
it's ridiculous.
But
obviously that's just like a small Facebook group. I don't know, Craig David's mega famous in it, but like, I don't know, I think it's hard because like in my head, I think my mindset on it is YouTubers now. Say Logan Paul walked into a shopping centre, I think he would get recognised more than like say if you chuck someone like Tom Cruise in a shopping centre. In this day, obviously with older generation, but like younger generation now, like Logan Paul, KSI and people at this level.
They are that Tom Cruise.
They are that Tom Cruise. Like the younger generation don't know Tom Cruise, you know? Like it's crazy. But yeah, like I would say so, yeah. Like
we've had the same conversation that when I was a kid, there was like 10 famous people, your Beckham, your Michael Jackson, and they were famous, your Tom Cruise. But now there's a hell of a lot more famous people in their own little sectors because people, like when I was growing up, we had 4 TV channels and you had to watch one of those 4 TV. But like now, you know, you've got that freedom to watch whatever you want to watch.
Yeah.
So like, I suppose there's a lot more famous people.
For sure, yeah.
You know, in their own sector.
It's still not the same as what it was.
It's definitely not. But yeah, you know, you look at those David Beckhams and people like that, they're that famous that they don't have a life. They can't go to Tesco's.
I was having this conversation the other day with someone, and I think with Jack actually, I was having this conversation with Jack, and it's like my level, like it's pretty crazy at my level. Like I'm getting reckoned, like I said, like it's ridiculous amounts of time in the most ridiculous places ever. But like I don't worry for my safety. Like I walk down the street, I don't need security or anything. But I've never had a bad experience in the street. So like, and I've never been mobbed to the point like I could go walk through a shopping centre and a couple of people would recognise me and like ask for a photo or chat to me. But like, say you're like Justin Bieber's level or Logan Paul, even I'd say Logan Paul, KSI, like they couldn't go and walk through a shopping centre on their own. They would get absolutely mobbed hard.
Yeah.
And it's like, that level is like you said, the David Beckham level, Justin Bieber, I'd say Logan Paul, KSI, them sort of levels. Mr. Beast, for example. Like,
freedom's gone.
Freedom's gone. So it's
finished.
like, it's a hard one. It's like fame and money, but you don't want, it's like a balance. You don't want to,
You want it sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah. I think if you're too famous, you get to a point of your life's not enjoyable anymore, you know?
Yeah.
There was like a TikTok with like some famous rapper, I see it recently, and he went to like Asia and he stood in the middle of the road. I think it's Asia or somewhere. He stood in the middle of the road and all these people are just walking next to him and no one has a clue who he is.
Yeah.
But he's like some famous rapper. I don't know who it is. But I see the clip and like you see it on his face. He's shocked that literally people are like this close.
Yeah, so I guess there's different levels to it, innit? Like you just put Justin Bieber, Ed Sheeran, like David Beckham in pretty much anywhere in the world and they're going to get cased, right? But then, I guess you put me out in Asia and it's not going to be, I did, when I flew to Thailand once, like when YouTube started kicking off, I remember like, so there was two really weird ones for me. I remember landing in Bangkok airport and walking out the airport and some like Thai people recognised me. And that was like pretty... like 2018 when YouTube was just picking up for me. So it hadn't got to that point of like getting recognised everywhere yet. And then when I flew to LA to meet Ryan, I went out to a place called Paris, which is in the middle of the desert, to skydive. And I was driving out there and I stopped off in this Walmart in the middle of like basically the desert, this random little town like between LA and Paris. Stopped in this Walmart, went in and I was walking around. I got recognised twice from two separate people in there. And this like 2018, I was probably had like over 1 million subs. And that was the first time to me that it was ever like, whoa, this is fucking crazy.
That was your moment.
I would say that's the moment. Obviously, it was ridiculous in England. Like I was getting recognised left, right, and centre in England. But I think it was either I just remember the Paris one was crazy to me. Like that was wild to me.
Because you don't expect it. Like from your own country, like I'm from the UK. I guess it's fine.
Yeah,
but going
a car show.
Yeah, but like going somewhere completely different, you wouldn't be like,
it's crazy.
Wait, you know me?
Yes, it's random.
Because you had that when you went on a holiday, didn't you?
It was my honeymoon, and I was in Barbados at this like little hotel, and it was the very first day, and I went for lunch, and this girl came over and said, "My boyfriend, like your YouTuber, right? My boyfriend would like a photo with you." Honestly, I couldn't text Jordan fast enough.
Yeah.
I was thinking, this is me. I'm done. That's me. I've been here a day. The world's recognising me. It's crazy over here, George. I need your backup. Not a single person from that second to when I got home recognised me. And I think if I'd have gone around the whole of Barbados, it was just that one person. Just got there and I thought,
it's going to be hectic.
Massive. I'm big here.
I'm massive in Barbados.
And then that was the only one.
It just killed the dream.
But yeah, that was, I couldn't wait to tell you, could I?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Especially like you've got a lot, like 50k subscribers. Like I wasn't getting recognised anywhere at 50k. Like that means you're making, your content is like recognizable in people. Like your content's so different that you're obviously leaving us like a mark on people, you know, like they're like, that is that guy. Because at 50k subs, like I was not getting recognized, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, like your content is very different and you've got a RotBox, the only person, you know what I mean? So I guess for people, it's like, that is Mark. Like
I think so. Yeah. Because I was saying to George, I spoke to somebody the other day and, he was saying, oh, Mark does YouTube stuff, and mate, he was like, oh, all right, spot on. And he was like, yeah. He said, what sort of content? I said, it's like car stuff, really. And I said, just sort of like doing silly things. And he was like, what, in cars? Yes, like sort of expensive cars. And he went, Goodwood.
I knew from that.
And I was like, yeah. He said, that's you, the Goodwood, that's you.
The Goodwood man, known as the Goodwood man.
That day changed a lot of things.
It did for our
social
channel.
media, like massively.
There was a few things like in our car world. For me, sort of like one of the biggest is Smee. And like, you know, I'm lucky enough to have met some of these people, normal people, obviously. But Smee to me was like one of those where like I wouldn't have thought for a second he'd know who I was.
Yeah.
Not for a second. And we were sort of stood by this thing and Smee was there. So us being our usual idiots trying to get a photo of me in the background and saying, here's me twin. Just idiots, do you know what I mean? Just like,
I was like zooming in and I was like, look, Mark, it's the teeth. That's what it is.
just being our usual selves and like sort of like being somewhere we weren't supposed to be, behind some sort of string we're not supposed to be behind. And then like Smee sort of like eye to eye contact with me, and he was like, and then he came over and I was like, can I have a photo? And he's like, oh yeah, I'll have a photo with you. I want a photo with you. And I was like, man, this man knows who I am.
That's sick, man.
And he like, yeah, that's, and there's been a few times we went to that, went to the British Motor Show and there was an Olympic guy there. And I sort of like, he came to the window and was speaking to somebody, and I said, nice, I'm Mark, and nice to meet you. He said, I know who you are. Of course I know who you are.
It's such a weird thing.
This bloke's like an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
And he's like, and there was a touring car guy there as well, like who I watch on the telly. And I said to him, I'm Mark. And he was like, yeah, I know you are.
That's so sick.
And it's just like, wow.
Yeah, so imagine that's you at 50k subscribers. Imagine you at 500k, 5 million. It's going to be wild, mate.
Yeah, because like in terms of like the automotive world in the UK, I still think Mark's one of the top.
How many Smee got? What subscribers?
I mean, he's got millions, but in terms of like someone new, fresh, and content that like everyone's talking about. I still think 100%. At that top.
Do you remember when you come down to Southampton? When we chatted to that guy, he was like, he went to my school, he pulled over, and I thought he was pulling over to like, because I knew him from school, and he's like, Jordan, and then he come chatted to Jordan, and he's like, he's just asking loads about you, like he's watching your videos and stuff, talking about you, and yeah.
And then he turned around, and he went, "Oh, Ali."
Yeah. Oh, Ali. I thought, because I went to school with him, I knew this kid really well, and then I thought, yeah, because he like screamed something out the window, and then he pulled over, and he was just so gassed to see Jordan and talking about you. Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
Because like Smee, when you see the stuff on, like for me, a massive thing would be, can't remember what it's called, Gumball. The massive thing, which I can't remember what the name is. On Gumball, when he's on there, like people are going Smee, 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 and they're like, he's massive in the world.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like our percentages say it's mainly the UK. We went to a thing last week with the family to, like DMO did an opening of a pizza place and went there, and there was loads of people taking photos. And it was just an absolute joy, like a joy to meet these people. And then I had a few messages. The one guy said like, I didn't have the balls to come and speak to you, but I saw you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man. Like,
I know I get them a lot as well. I get them quite a lot, to be fair. It's like just come speak to. I guess for them it's pretty nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think like, you watch people on the telly now, and when you see those people, they don't know who you are, but you like go, oh man, that's
it's the same.
It's exactly, and they're all like normal human being, and maybe like the likes of Beckham, and although they were normal human beings, they probably aren't allowed to be normal human beings anymore.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
They don't have the network or opportunities to go and, they can't go hire a trailer for the day and go do something. It's
This is why I think YouTube's so like relatable to people. Though this is why I think it's blown up, because you can't really relate. The normal person can't relate to David Beckham, right? Like they live such a different lifestyle, but like, people making YouTube videos usually, do you know what I mean? Just normal people from normal backgrounds picked up a camera, and anyone can make it. Like, that's what I like about it. Like, there's opportunity to top for it. It was 50 years ago to become famous or to become a big rich actor or whatever.
Like a singer or something.
You've got your mom had got to be a singer, or you've got to have that way in. And
100%. Now you've got people filming on their iPhone that are making tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds a month. Like, it's craziness, you know?
And I think as well, like the whole sort of, when I was a kid, everyone wanted to be a footballer. Simple as that. That's what everyone wanted to be. But I think now that's changed to probably everyone wants to be a YouTuber.
I think so, yeah. Like I think kids now just, that is, if you go to a school, I read a thing and it was like, back in my day, it was like astronaut, like footballer.
Astronaut.
Yeah, no, I think that was like, and like typical job. Yeah, like astronaut.
That's fucking Southampton for you, because that wasn't in Redditch.
Was that not a thing in
Nobody
Redditch?
wanted to be an astronaut.
Oh, maybe just a Southampton thing then.
Especially because the moon didn't even exist.
This is true.
Here we go again.
All being scammed. But yeah, like things like that, and policeman and footballer and stuff like that. But yeah, now YouTuber 100%. But I think kids also see this like, and I did it as well. Like you see this dream lifestyle of like making YouTube. People just think that you just make YouTube videos and like you just film and then that's it. And you
Yeah,
get
the money
paid good
comes
money.
in.
Yeah. And you don't do anything else. They don't see that it's like, it is a business, and anyone that is big on YouTube is working fucking hard behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And like, even if they have a team or don't have a team, like back in the day, me and Ryan, like we had no team. Ryan didn't have you, Jordan. Like Ryan didn't have an editor. I didn't have an editor. We would film. Like I wasn't sleeping for days. It got to a point like my health was just.
But that's
taking a
because of
toll.
money, though, isn't it? Like if you'd probably, if you'd have had that money,
Yeah.
you could have spent more time doing what you're good at, and somebody else could
Yeah,
have edited.
100% outsourcing it. Yeah,
But like if the money's not there at that time,
you can't outsource it. Yeah,
Because you were
so-
doing like daily uploads.
Oh, mate, it
like,
was wild, yeah, it was
I could
wild.
not imagine having the stress of like filming all day, getting home, and then quickly editing a video to be out that same day at like 8 p.m.
Mate, it was wild. Yeah, Ryan was the same. We were uploading like daily, pretty much. Some on worse, like every other day. And it wasn't like we were filming gaming videos that could be easily filmed. It was like the videos were so crazy. It was like
Yeah.
we had to go out, we had to make it happen. Then we had to try and get a video, and then we were editing all night. And it was to a point where like very not healthy. Like wasn't sleeping.
And what about like footage which didn't work, camera fail,
So
SD
many
card?
things, yeah. Dropped the hard drive, had like 3 videos on it that were like bangers, gonna go viral. Dropped the hard
Gone for
drive,
good.
broke it. Yeah, tried paying the guy to fix the corrupt hard drive, and then just never worked. Yeah, so lost that. Yeah, loads of things. Lost. Thought I backed footage up, would delete it. Wasn't sleeping, so the brain wasn't working properly.
Yeah,
Thought-
make mistakes.
yeah, but
And
you,
like the challenges that you've done, like the in and out challenges, like you must have had like cards swiped off of you by security
yeah, that
and
as
police
well,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Like you
cards
must have done
swiped.
something and thought, wow, this is like going to be like a viral video.
Big
and then
brother,
at the
big
end,
brother.
yeah, do you know what I mean?
swallow the SD.
Like
yeah.
you're just watching that, just like all that content just gone. You're like, fuck.
One of my mates come up with a good one. Finn, you'll know this. Adam, put a plaster on you. Put the SD card and then a plaster.
Brilliant
so like, if the
idea.
police were coming or anything, or
What
we
a
knew
great
that
idea.
we're likely going to lose this. You know about that? Yeah. He put a plaster on it, but genius. Absolutely
that's
genius.
Wow,
So, yeah, if
I'd
you're
never
trying to-
have thought of that.
Trying to hide SD cards or a little bit of drugs, get a plaster if the police are coming. No, it worked good. But yeah, lost SD cards, lost footage. Like,
Yeah.
just had loads of ball
Because your
aches.
biggest one would have been Big Brother,
Big
surely.
Brother, yeah, for sure.
That was the one where everyone knew who you and
the
Ron
whole
were
world
at
was
that
talking
point.
about it, mate.
And when that day came, did you know how big that was?
So we did it. It's a hard one. Didn't think it was going to go. Thought it would do good, but didn't realize it was. And I think a big part of it going so big is because we got arrested and the cars got taken, and there was like a demand for that video because no one's seen it. But
So people then want to see it because they can't see it.
can't see it. Yeah, so it like drove demand. I didn't think it would go as big as it did, but it fucking went big. Yeah.
And did you think you'd get in there?
Yeah, we knew we'd get in there. Yeah, we did it the first time just on a whim. Tried. We got like behind the mirrors.
Because it seemed to be a long time before you got in there. Like, it's
What do you mean?
like as in sort of, it seemed to be like, you didn't just jump over one wall. There was get over this bit,
it was
that bit, down that bit,
constant,
that bit, and that
No,
bit.
it was exactly like that. Yeah, but yeah, we didn't know we'd do it. We thought, yeah, we again, like I said, you just throw yourself in the deep end. It works out somehow. You learn how to swim if you launch yourself in the deep end. So yeah, it worked out, but crazy. Yeah.
Because didn't you, I don't know if it was you or Ron or both of you, but didn't you then create a platform to then upload that video on?
Ryan did, yeah. Ryan, I don't know the ins and outs of that, but Ryan did create some sort of
So
platform.
people could see it.
Yeah, but Ryan had his footage. He got his footage back. I didn't. I can't remember. Like they destroyed my GoPro. I think he had his backed up to like a iCloud or something, like a live backup.
So it was
So he had it, but
because that would work then, wouldn't it? You know, it doesn't matter what if they take the GoPro or
No, it doesn't. The GoPro doesn't matter really, does it?
Yeah, I suppose
But
if you've already got the footage somewhere, like up on the cloud or something.
That's
fine,
it. That's what he did.
Like,
yeah.
good luck getting that.
But Ryan was a bit smarter, but I didn't have that option. So yeah, I just lost all my footage forever. Which is gutting. I would like to see that. But even to this day, that was like 4 years ago. To this day, the amount of people that I meet is like, can we see the Big Brother footage? Have you got
because
it?
they think you've got it.
Yeah, they think I've got it, but I literally don't have it. Yeah, which is a shame, but it is what it is.
Because it was it broke the internet. That did.
Yeah, it went everywhere, mate. Yeah, it was crazy.
Because I think like that, it was so big as well, wasn't it? Like Big Brother was just huge, wasn't it? It was, and for somebody to, get inside those walls.
I think the weirdest thing with Big Brother was I feel like that year, like that was the biggest exposure Big Brother had ever got in its whole career. Yeah. And then the one that they did the following year, it had nothing.
Flopped, yeah.
It
flopped.
Then
they ended, didn't they?
Yeah. Like, and I had never heard nothing like it ever again.
Yeah, see, in my head, if I was Big Brother, I'd be well happy. It brought a lot of publicity to them.
You're a single man.
Yep.
So maybe we can help out with that. So like, hit me up, Mark McCann 64. Ali is single at the minute, but I don't want you to go direct.
You go
I want to
through
sort
Mark.
it. So through me.
He vets them.
I'll vet them. Just make sure that we've got, so if you're looking for a strong ginger man, then we're going to sort this out.
Send some DMs over to Mark and he'll vet them. Do you know your female to male? I'm guessing there's a high male.
Do you know what? I do. I only watch because like flipping, like this is funny. Jane, she won't mind me saying this, but somebody sent a message the other day and she was like, what's she saying? Something.
Wait.
Somebody said something like, oh, I love your videos or something like, but it was from a female. It was like,
oh, okay,
Alyssa or something. And she was like, what's she saying? and I said, what about the like 999 male guys who have said, I like your channel.
Yeah.
Why you got the with her just because she's...
That's like that, that negative comment, you read 100, that's 1,000 good ones, that one sticks out, that one girl.
That's the one where James was like...
The male's 83% and then the female's 17%.
See,
that's decent.
That's what I was going to say to you.
That's quite strong still.
Something's happened, there's been a big shift because it's always been 95-5. Now... I'm thinking, like straight away, I thought it's got to be me. I've had my hair cut. I can do. I thought this is down to me.
It's down to you, yeah.
Because I did have my hair cut. I went on holiday, got a tan. I thought this is shifting my way. Then I think to myself, Jordan is young, free and single. You're young, free and single. This influence of like, maybe this is why we're pulling in the female views right now.
This could be it, Jordan. I think you, mate.
I'll take it. But I'm not going to be like, yeah, that's definitely
I'm saying it could have something to do with the Lambos.
Yeah. Oh, we should do one of them like gold digger videos.
Yeah.
Those ones that just rack views and do viral numbers.
Classic gold
So it's not my haircut now?
No, it's definitely your haircut.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely your haircut.
Of course, the haircut, of course.
Yeah, we've took a massive shift towards the female population.
Yeah, that's a strong female demographic. Mine's like 8% or something.
I'm thinking
Mine's
but we do try and say like we've come up with a bit of a plan, haven't we, to sort of like Jane and Senna. Without them, obviously, this can't happen. You know what we're sat here now because she's sorting shit out in there. Like Senna's probably got some paint like on the carpet, or like there's probably some big issues going on.
It was just kicking off as we left. We left at a good time.
It was a good
paint
time.
was coming. The apron come out.
Yeah, the full on sort of like shield of plastic was coming out. And I think that when we've looked at what people like, I think the whole family thing does help us, to have, to make, it is real because it is real. Like they have to come with us because they're part of our journey. And I think that helps us. And we've said, haven't we, we're going to try and make sure that sometimes we watch a video and Jane will say like, oh, I wasn't in that one. You think, shit, no, you weren't. But we want to make sure that we're all in there every week.
Yeah.
And a bit of everything. And like, so that what you've said, like where you've got a plan, like, you look at your engagement, why people have clicked off. But we think that, we need Jane and Senna. We need a bit of madness. We need a bit of like normality. We need a bit of everything to make that mix of our 12 minutes entertaining, but yet engaging and something which people want to come back and invest in to see what changed. Because I think we were talking about this with Senna, whether we get to 50K, 51K, a million K, whatever we get to in subs, it's a strong foothold for her
massively
as a future, because she can maybe build on what we're doing if it does go anywhere.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think
especially in the direction that this world's going, everything's social media based.
Definitely.
So like if you're brought up in social media and then like let's say for example
when she's 18
she can be like, oh yeah, no, I'll try work off of this now. But even like through growing up, like as she gets older, like, when you're at school, you're on Instagram, you're on things like that. Like in terms of like car stuff, like people get really invested into it. Yeah. And I feel like you can grow on the back of something because you're in with the videos, you're in with everything. I feel like it's a good, strong position to be in when you're growing something for the family, because it doesn't just help you out, it helps everyone else around you as well for like the future.
Look at the Kardashians.
Yeah, like look at them.
example.
Like,
Maybe Jane will have her buttocks done.
Good old BBL. Get it done.
Hit me up on Instagram, Mark McCann 64. If you've got any products.
If you got any
No,
BBL.
like I'm not sort of a man who wants extra, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'd rather have less. So hit me up on Mark McCann 64. Treadmills. She doesn't need treadmills. I'm going to get myself into it.
I was about to say, you're in a doghouse tonight.
Yeah.
Well, when this goes live.
next podcast is, so I've been divorced.
Yeah.
Message me on Mark McCann 64 if you're single.
I can, like anything which I've shipped out. Actually, maybe I'll keep a couple of the good ones on the back burner, which if I get any of your traffic.
If you get any of mine, any that ain't been vetted, you
I've got 17% to play with anyway, haven't I?
That's a big female demographic.
What's 17% of 50? That's 34. So that's the opposite way. So 8,500 women if we're doing the same on subs.
Oh shit, I never thought of that.
See that maths?
That's some quick math. I was about to say that's impressive math right there.
Oh, good.
He's a man of math. Did you do well in school, Mark?
Do you know what? I did well naturally, but
Yeah.
like no effort. No, I'm not like that. I can't be bothered. So luckily my mum and dad gave me some genes which allowed me to be good at maths and stuff like that. But yeah, like none of it was nurtured by me.
Yeah.
Like I no interest in school, hated school, couldn't wait to get out of school, no interest in school. And that's not what our viewers should be hearing. But for me, it was, I hated every minute of it. And luckily I did well at exams, but like I say, that was literally just what's been embedded in my DNA, nothing to do with me.
Not from trying hard.
No.
Nah.
And like maybe I should have done, but I wasn't. All I wanted to do was get me and my friend had a Puch Maxi Sport moped, and we used to put 50p worth of petrol in.
50p's
worth of petrol, and that was me done for the day.
Days back then.
And then I used to try and meet Jane on the park bench. We just leave it there. So meet Jane on the park bench. That was me. That was my life.
How old were you when you met Jane?
14.
14.
Yeah.
Love it. That's amazing. That is
14.
truly amazing.
Then we went our sort of like separate ways for a long time, and then got together again afterwards. So
love it. Love to hear it. Yeah. No, she seems really cool. Like,
yeah, she's a good egg.
Yeah, no.
She's a good egg. Looks after you.
Yeah, she does. Yep.
She looked after us with the sweets. Sweet box was out. Offering
That's like people remember our sweet box. People do mention our sweet box.
Yeah, it's the best thing in the house.
A very good sweet box. Yeah. Most houses like just a few little sweets in the cupboard. Mark has a sweet cupboard. Like I'm talking bags and boxes.
I do. We're into our room.
You're better than some shops down the street.
Yeah, no, he is out of that cupboard.
It's literally by
Finn's looking because he knows.
It's by bulk. That's how we work. And like you think to yourself, I worked out the whole. What's the place where you buy the pick and mix called? Wilkinson's. Is it? No, not Wilkinson's.
God, do you remember Woolworths or whatever it was?
This is where it stemmed from. So Wilkinson's is the new Woolworths.
Right.
So basically you go in there and you can pay per pound or ounce or whatever it is, gram or whatever it is. So this is a great tip. So you can do all that and you can sort of like fill a bag up, or you can go for the £4 pot.
Yeah.
Now I can get a kilo in a £4 pot by it's hard work and it's graft.
But you can squeeze it in.
And then you've got to obviously get the right sweets afterwards for the right shape. But if you build, it's like, I used to do it a lot with Pizza Hut used to be able to go one time to salad bar.
Yeah.
So you could only go to the salad bar, and the Pizza Hut salad bar was about £5, an absolute rip-off. So what I did was I'd use the coleslaw as mortar. So what I'd do is I'd make a ring of cucumbers to increase the volume of the bowl. And then I'd use mortar, which was the coleslaw, to increase the volume again. Now I used to be able to come back from the Pizza Hut salad bar, and the bowl was like that. It was packing like it was.
Because you created that middle bit, yeah.
A massive capacity of bowl. by
People
using.
see Mark walking for a fucking mountain. That
The same
You can only go
the
once.
carvery, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
I do that in the
Took me
carvery.
he was telling me tips of when we were in the carvery. He was like, right,
Fill the
watch this.
Yorkies, fill the Yorkies
Yeah,
up.
gotta fill the. There's a big void.
Yeah,
A
big
void.
empty space right there that no one fills.
It was like when you was getting
Or
the
the other
meat.
thing to do is get the Yorkie on your finger so she's off the plate. So you get your finger through it,
and hold it to the side.
hold it to the side, so then that's taking no room whatsoever.
Oh, that's a new one. I haven't heard that. I'm liking it. Finn,
It was
take tips.
the meat
We're
though.
on
It was the meat one that was good. Like the person asked like, "What do you want?" He said, "Oh, I'll have." It was like I'll have 2 of these meats. So she put the meat on and it weighed to the amount it was. And he went, "Oh, sorry, no, I forgot to take. Can I have that meat as well?"
Yeah.
So then he got extra meat.
She ain't taking that meat
Nah,
off.
she ain't going to take it back, is she?
So you've got to go in afterwards. You've got to go in
Toby
afterwards.
Carvery losing a lot of profits
Yeah.
after this podcast goes
Because it's all
live.
done on weight, isn't it? That's what you
That
said.
it was there,
That
yeah.
it.
So you just say, "I'll just have the one." So they chuck it all on and go, "Oh no, actually, no, I'll have some of that." And then you can see, but they can't do anything about
That's
it.
why when Mark gets his 1 million YouTube plaque, YouTube's getting an email.
I've lost me
I've
plaque.
lost me plaque. They doubles up.
I'll be signed. You what's your name? Smith. Oh, Smith, Mr. Smith. Yeah, no, I don't know who he is.
Nah, not a clue.
I can
that
borrow
is.
your face mask.
Yeah, borrow the old man. They'll take the picture and you'd be like, well, it clearly ain't me. How has this happened?
They go, "That's Ali Law."
Yeah, like, we know that mask. It's like such a typical YouTube mask. Like, loads of people got that same mask as well. They'd be baffled.
Thank you very much for coming.
No worries, Mark. Thanks for having me on, mate. It's been good.
Thanks for ruining everything, Finn.
Finn just ruins everything.
Nah, he did just fix the cameras. I'll give
Nah,
it to him.
he's still a destroyer.
Please don't bring him again.
Yeah, no, sorry about that, Mark.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to check our other channel, which you'll see all the stuff which we all got up to today. And see you next time.
See you later.
Ciao.